Do you know those moments that you feel like someone is putting you in a corner, giving you a timeout? Like, hey, why don't you just listen to me? I mean well, and now you have me explain it and have everything. Well, sort of like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to apologize here? Because I appreciate what is happening now. I know that you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but let's put it this way. I'm having a conversation with someone for a couple of months now, and it's about doing an interview, and I have the chance to actually do it, which is absolutely amazing. And the kid inside of me is like, oh, this is so cool. And it's actually nice to have a heartfelt conversation with someone. But it is a conversation on the net, and you never know how people actually are until you get to meet them, right? So if I trust my instinct, then I say it's good, it's okay, he's real, genuine, no worries about it. But I was a little thrown off yesterday with some things I heard and read, and I was like, oh, okay, I need to process this for a moment. So my reaction back was not very spontaneous, I guess, or it was very spontaneous, but not as, it probably could have been more appreciative, like, oh, this is so cool, awesome. And although I did feel that way, and actually some friends of mine know that, um, I was also a little careful because it was like, okay, how does this work? Now, being a coach and all, and having a bunch of musicians as friends, I am not that. I'm basically, what you see is what you get. I'm not that impressed with meeting people. I like to, have a heartfelt conversation with them. And yeah, well, I guess when you are a coach, you get to see every side of how people are. And yes, I don't know how to explain it any different. But anyway, I was like, I started this message, and then I stopped it again, and I started it and stopped it again. And I absolutely don't like what is happening right now. But I also know that for me, the way to get any perspective is actually to just go talk to the video. I would probably say the same thing to you if you were to approach me and say, hey, Lexi, how do you deal with that when you don't know how to answer? And then I probably would say, well, I just explain how I feel. So I actually started saying, like, okay, please don't get this the wrong way. Well, actually, I didn't say that at all, but that's what I'm feeling. It's just that I want to be a little bit careful, when people offer me certain things, because I'm like, okay, so how's this going to work out? And that doesn't mean that, when certain opportunities come, that, I mean, ever since we were talking about this, and it's related to an interview, I was so surprised, and so, I was a little bit flabbergasted, like, hey, this person appreciates what I'm doing, and he actually is like, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I'm not necessarily surprised that someone considers it a good idea, but I am surprised that someone actually takes the time to consider it. So, yeah, that's it's nice to know that I can touch someone with my message, and vice versa too, because there's a reason I wanted to interview the guy, because he is very inspiring to me. But yes, it's oh, like I said, it doesn't happen too often that I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And like I said, that's why I'm recording this video. No clue if the person himself is going to see this video. Not sure what he's going to think. You know, there are so many thoughts going through my mind, like from, yeah, I realize we didn't go to school together, and, you know, age-wise, he could be my dad. So when it comes to respect, you know, on the other hand, I'm so used to talking to people way older than he is, actually, that, yeah, I might have as easily might have. So it's a little bit of conflict between, okay, I want to show respect, and yes, I do of course respect the other person, because otherwise why would I want an interview with them? But on the other hand, it's like, okay, I don't think I want to be that 5-year-old all of a sudden, and somehow it feels like it, and that's so, I don't know. Anyway, it is kind of cool. It's really kind of cool what's about to happen. So it's not finalized just yet, but the opportunity is so immensely wonderful. And, well, I'm sure not going to pass on it, you know. It's, I mean, I know it's very exceptional, and that makes it absolutely cool. But yes, I am aware, especially in this day and age, that we all need to be careful. Yeah, we do. Because we don't know if people are actually who they say they are. Now, I believe that this person is, you know, sharing certain things, and also certain words he has used. They give me the full confidence that this is okay. You know, having dealt with a bunch of scammers out there, you know, you can instantly tell they are scammers, even if it's just by the way they talk and do certain things. And whenever there is one of those scammers out there who reaches out to me and says, oh, you must be surprised and so honored, and I'm like, this is nothing like that. This is, you know, I could tell that he thought about what I had replied, so I started with a comment, and, you know, he was genuinely curious, like, hey, how does that work out? And so, you know, it's one person being enthusiastic, talking to another person being enthusiastic, and, you know, it's just, it's sort of like a natural thing, the way that it works. But yes, when I posted the reply yesterday, I was like, okay, this is what I sent management, and I'll let you know what I sent them. And I realized that, and it also has to do with, you know, there's a difference between writing with someone. I've been writing with two for a while now, and then writing a management company that I do not know at all. And I had expected some different answers, so sort of something was sort of in the back of my mind that this could happen. But on the other hand, what it was about initially, nothing was on there. So I was like, okay, So, yeah, I reached out to a couple of friends and said, okay, what do I make of this? Is this normal? I don't know. You know, it's new to me. And so, you know, we contemplated a little bit about it. And you know, when it's going to happen, you're going to see it, and it's going to be amazing. I can tell you that much. And then you understand why it was a little bit like, I'm not going to say much about it. I'm not, because, I don't want to run ahead of things, but if this is going to happen, it's going to be so much fun. At least I'm counting on it to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I also see it as I don't know if it's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity. Maybe this opens up other possibilities, which would be very cool. But yes, I was like, and talking to you out there, I can also say talking to myself, but I'm looking in the camera. It gives me peace of mind. It gives me peace of mind to talk about it. And anyone who has seen me record videos before, they know that when I want some answers, I'll just go switch on the camera and just talk, because it gives me new perspective. And having recorded this, I'm like, well, I might just cut off the first part, and maybe I'm not, because I don't like the editing. I like people to see it the way it is, and that means that I'm also, I'm all about authenticity. So I'm like, okay, well, this is what I felt, this is what I thought, this is like me not knowing what to say. And on the other hand, also wanting to express my enthusiasm and being thrilled, like, oh my God, is this happening? And I never thought about this, till we got to talk about it, and it being an interview. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay, this is new. I'm so used to talking to people, and I do more interviews with people, and being a coach, I know I put people at ease. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, apparently something has shifted here, because how do I say this? I don't want people to take this the wrong way. So I've been raised being respectful to people, especially people who are older than I am. I still have a hard time when I see the parents from my friends and saying, well, we have we have a very polite form to talk to people, and we have a casual way of talking to people. And I know that's not present in English. In English, you always say you to someone else, but we actually have a difference. So there are the people you talk to who are your age and below, and then there are the people you address who are older than you, and you do that with respect. So, of course, I also started working at a very early age, and still being a teenager, I learned pretty quickly that when you are working with other people, you don't use the formal tone. You just don't. It was a little bit weird, in the beginning, but now I'm so used to it. And of course, being a coach and if people come over to my territory, it's, well, I actually, nowadays I ask a little bit more, like, can I say you? And then the casual you form. And yeah. And then when I sent that reply back, I was like, oh, someone is going to be annoyed when reading this. And then I got the answer and I was like, oh yeah, you're someone not happy with oh my God, do I have to explain myself? Why aren't you just jumping in the air? And I was like, yeah, I get you. I get you. But, I need to be careful too. So, um, so yeah, I feel a little bit like I got put back in my place, and I absolutely don't like it, I'll honestly say. I don't think it was, well, I'm not entirely sure if it wasn't a little bit meant that way. Um, Especially since I do know that this person is very busy, has a busy life. At least that's what I gather from the answers up till now. So yeah, what else is there to say? I think I'm going to say yeah, because I do like it. Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about it. But yeah, I'm not going to say anything just yet because I want to see how it's going to work out. But if it's going to work out, it's going to be really amazing.